You can feel it, even if you don't have the words for it yet. Something in the way you move through your day has changed. You still have goals. You still talk about your future. You still say things like, "One day I'll..." But the fire behind those words doesn't feel the same. It's quieter, softer, easier to postpone. And while that inner fire is dimming, something else is growing stronger. A machine that promises to think for you, write for you, plan for you, even dream in your place if you ask it nicely enough. For most of human history, ambition was a weight you had to carry yourself. You had to decide, you had to try, you had to fail, you had to learn. Now you can type one sentence and a system somewhere in the dark will give you 10 paths, 3 scripts, 5 strategies, a business plan, and the motivational quote to caption it. At first, it feels like a miracle. Finally, no more friction. Finally, no more staring at the blank page. Finally, no more feeling stupid, slow, or behind. But there is a question hiding behind that comfort. What happens to you when the part of life that once built your character is the first thing you automate? The danger is not that AI will destroy your dreams. The danger is that it will make them so easy to simulate that you no longer feel the need to build them for real. AI doesn't have to replace your job to replace your ambition. It only has to remove the struggle that once forced you to grow. Ambition has always been born in the gap between who you are and who you could be. That gap used to feel like a mountain, long nights, confusion, repetition, the awkward feeling of being a beginner. You climbed anyway because there was no shortcut. If you wanted the skill, you had to practice. If you wanted the body, you had to train. If you wanted the business, you had to build. Effort was not an option, it was the entrance fee. Now there is a new rule quietly rewriting that story. Effort feels negotiable. You don't have to think deeply to get an answer. You don't have to study for months to sound competent. You don't have to wrestle with ideas to produce something that looks finished. You can skip the mountain and still get the view. At least, that's what it looks like on the screen. What you don't see is what gets lost in that trade. Every time you let a model carry the weight of your thinking, you also give it the chance to carry a piece of your becoming. Little by little, the muscle that used to activate when you said, "I'll figure it out," stays relaxed. Why would it fire when a tool is always faster? You don't notice the cost at first. That's how all addictions to comfort begin. Not with pain, but with relief. With the sweet feeling of, finally, I don't have to try so hard. The human mind was not designed for constant ease. It was designed to adapt under pressure, to reorganize itself when reality resisted it. That is why the achievements that change you the most are rarely the ones that came quickly. They are the ones you had to wrestle with, fail at, return to, refine. The frustration was not a bug in the process. It was the forge. AI offers a different path. Answers without wrestling, progress without patience, output without that long internal dialogue between doubt and determination. You can generate 10 variations of an idea in the time it once took you to form one clear thought. On the surface, that looks like an upgrade. 10 times more creative, 10 times more productive, 10 times more efficient. But here is the quiet problem. When everything is easy to start, nothing feels worthy to finish. You begin to confuse stimulation with purpose. You bounce from idea to idea, project to project, prompt to prompt, feeling constantly in motion while nothing in you actually moves. The machine keeps producing, you keep scrolling, your days feel full, but your direction feels empty. You end most evenings with the same sentence, "I did a lot, but I don't know what I'm actually building." Your ambition doesn't disappear in one dramatic moment. It slowly dissolves into 1,000 almost started things that never become a life. At some point you stop noticing that you are always at the beginning of something. You tell yourself you are exploring options, collecting ideas, testing directions. But beneath those smart-sounding phrases a quieter truth waits. You are avoiding the long, boring, sacred work of staying. staying with one question until it deepens, staying with one skill until it sharpens, staying with one path until it changes not just your results, but your identity. There is another layer to this that is even more dangerous. AI doesn't only change what you can do, it changes what your actions mean to you. When a tool can do in seconds what used to take you days, the emotional value of creating begins to warp. You get the same or better result with a fraction of the effort. The brain receives a reward signal that is no longer tied to growth, only to outcome. You feel proud of something you did not really go through. You feel productive because something was produced, even if it was not really you who changed in the process. You feel ahead because the result looks advanced, even though your understanding stayed at the same level. This is how a strange substitution begins. The brain learns that it can get the feeling of progress without paying the price of transformation. It can collect the badge without walking the road. And here is the uncomfortable truth. A lot of what we used to call ambition was never about becoming someone deeper. It was about collecting badges, jobs, titles, followers, projects, numbers on a screen. AI is incredibly good at helping you produce more badges, but it is completely useless at helping you answer the question those badges were hiding from. Who am I when you take all of this away? This is why AI doesn't attack real ambition. It attacks the fake kind, the fragile, external, performative ambition that was built on being seen more than on being changed. If your drive came from fear of being nothing, from panic about being behind, from the need to prove your worth by outworking everyone, AI will quietly break you. Not because it hates you, but because it makes your strategy obsolete. You cannot outwork a machine that does not sleep. You cannot compete on volume with an engine that never runs out of energy. If your self-worth was attached to being the one who always does more, what happens when more becomes meaningless? For many people, the answer is simple. Their ambition stops. Not because they no longer have dreams, but because the role they played inside those dreams no longer feels important. If the machine can write the book, build the funnel, generate the design, outline the course, what is the point of view? But for a smaller group, something different happens. They feel the same shock, the same displacement, the same ego pain, and then slowly a new sentence appears in their mind. If I can no longer be valuable by doing more, maybe I can become valuable by being more. AI becomes a filter. It keeps the badge collectors busy. It leaves the identity builders standing. In a world where machines can do almost anything, the definition of ambition has to evolve. For most of your life, ambition meant achieving more than the people around you. Better grades, better job, better income, better body, better lifestyle. It was a race, even if no one admitted it. A race you could win by running harder. AI breaks that race. It makes effort abundant. It makes output cheap. It makes more normal. So now a deeper question appears. If you can no longer define ambition by how much you do, how will you define it? Maybe ambition in the age of AI is not about being the person who does the most, but about being the person who sees the clearest, the one who knows what truly matters and uses the machine to multiply that instead of everything. AI can generate 1,000 ideas. Only you can decide which one is worth a decade of your life. AI can optimize your schedule. Only you can decide what deserves a place in it. AI can flood the world with content. Only you can choose to say something that costs you your comfort to tell the truth. The new form of ambition is not quantity. It is courage. The courage to think for yourself in a world that keeps offering to think for you. So no, AI is not quietly erasing ambition from the human story. It is doing something subtler and in a strange way more honest. It is stripping away the parts of ambition that were built on noise, panic, and comparison. The parts that said, if I just work more than everyone else, I will finally feel like enough. That promise was always a lie. AI simply makes it impossible to cling to. What remains when that illusion dies is uncomfortable but clean. If you cannot measure your worth in hours worked, you are forced to look for a deeper metric. How present you are, how aligned you are, how much integrity your actions carry, how willing you are to move in the direction that scares you for reasons no algorithm can calculate. AI will take the busy work you used to hide behind. It will take the fake complexity you used to use as an excuse. It will take the identity you built on always being overwhelmed. And then it will quietly hand you a mirror. In that mirror, there is no productivity score, no optimization rating, no life hack index. There is just a simple, painful, liberating question. Now that you are no longer drowning in tasks, who do you choose to be? Most people will never look into that mirror for more than a second. It is easier to turn back to the glowing interface, to ask for another plan, another strategy, another distraction labeled as productivity. But a few people will keep looking. They will hold their own gaze long enough to feel both the grief of wasted years and the excitement of a life that could finally be directed on purpose. Those are the people for whom AI will not be a cage, but a key that unlocks time, energy, and mental space. Not so they can fill it with more noise, but so they can finally listen to the questions they were running from. In the end, AI is not the villain or the savior of your ambition. It is the amplifier. It turns your relationship with effort up to a volume you can no longer ignore. If you were chasing achievement to escape yourself, it will make that emptiness louder. If you were using work as a way to avoid your own questions, it will remove just enough struggle that those questions finally catch up. But if there is even a small part of you that wanted more than badges, more than applause, more than metrics, more than the appearance of success, then this moment in history is not a threat. It is an opening. Because now you can let the machine do what never needed to be human: the repetition, the formatting, the calculation, the surface-level creativity. And you can reclaim what always needed to be human: the intention, the honesty, the depth, the willingness to sit in the discomfort of not knowing and grow anyway. AI can help you build faster. It cannot decide what is worth building. It can help you sound confident. It cannot give you a life that feels true when no one is watching. So the real question is not, will AI replace me? The real question is, now that excuses are harder to believe, what kind of ambition will I choose to grow inside myself? The rest is just technology.